The season of festivities continues as the age-old festival of Chhath, specially celebrated by the Madheshi community, has kicked off. It's the second day of Chhath festival today as the celebrations last for 4 days, with Sunday being the main day of the festival. Traditionally a festival celebrated in the Tarai region, Chhath celebrations with the dawn of federalism have become more widespread. Good morning, I'm Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the top stories of the hour. Expenses for the November 20 provincial and parliamentary elections projected to reach around 100 billion rupees, 50 billion rupees in legitimate expenses and the rest under covers. Political parties quick in making big commitments in the manifestos but found to ignore implementation part after assuming power. Trend continues unabated. It's the second day of the 4-day festival of Chhath, specially celebrated by Madheshi community. Marketplaces abuzz with Chhath shopping. And top seed Daniil Medvedev enters into the semi-finals of Vienna Open. Yannick Sinner defeated in straight sets. Expenses for the November 20 provincial and parliamentary elections have been projected to reach around 100 billion rupees, with the government, political parties and candidates spending around 50 billion rupees in legitimate expenses. Around 50 billion more is expected to be spent under covers. At a time when the nation is facing liquidity crunch, analysts are assessing the impact of these massive expenses on economic activities. Nepal has been suffering from liquidity crunch for the past year and a half. Most of the revenue generated is being spent for imports. The central bank has been holding discussions with related stakeholders to revive the economy. As hidden wealth is likely to be spent for the elections, resulting in increase in expenditure, analysts have expected increase in economic activities. However, with the national economic indices currently on the weaker side, economists have said that the positive impact of election expenses cannot be sustained. Candidates of the House of Representatives can legally spend between 1.5 to 3.3 million rupees based on their constituency. Proportionate candidates can spend between 200,000 to 500,000 rupees. Candidates of direct category for provincial assemblies can spend 1.5 to 2.4 million, while proportionate candidates can spend 150,000 to 200,000 rupees. Based on these statistics, around 30 billion rupees could be spent remaining under legitimate grants. Meanwhile, indirect expenses are expected to be much higher. Including both of such expenses, transactions have been projected to hit around 100 billion rupees. While such electoral expenses can make seasonal contributions to the economy, they are usually not sustained. The funds that reach villages are likely to make gradual way out of the country again. Now, leadership of the government of Nepal has changed on 28 occasions in the past 33 years since the popular political transformation of 1990. The November 20 elections are the 7th periodic polls. However, Nepali politics has revolved around more or less repeated political actors and trends. Political parties have always made great commitments in the manifestos but have been ignoring their implementation after assuming power. Such a trend has continued in the absence of the active role of public. The Communist Alliance during the previous provincial and parliamentary election had made assurances related to education, health, accommodations and employment opportunities, among others. The party leadership also promised of ships, east-west highway and gas pipelines to every household. Despite boasting a near two-third majority, such assurances never saw the light of the day. Instead, UML and Maoist Centre disintegrated in less than 4 years. Election manifestos of political parties have been limited to making false assurances to the public. 2 attempts at dissolving the House of Representatives and several others violating constitutional provisions are collective evidences of political failure. Along with CPN-UML and CPN-Maoist Centre, Nepali Congress has also not been able to deliver on its promises made in its previous election manifestos. The situation is similar in CPN Unified Socialist and Madhesh-centered parties, Janata Samajwadi and Loktantrik Samajwadi. Lack of public action in making the political parties aware and keeping them in check has led to the continuity of such trends. In our Public Voice segment, today we've asked the public about their awareness regarding the use of social networking platforms. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
अझै सामाजिक सञ्जाल चाहिँ सबैको गाली गर्ने थलो बने।
म अरूलाई पनि ट्याग गर्दैन, मलाई ट्याग गरेको पनि मन पर्दैन।
सामाजिक सञ्जालमा कसैलाई पनि गाली गलौज गर्नु भनेको एउटा चाहिँ साइबर क्राइम अन्तर्गत पनि पर्दछ।
नचिनेकाहरूलाई मैले एक्सेप्ट गर्दैन।
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, what impact does electoral expenditure have on national economy? Your options are A, activates economy, B, benefit for businesses, and C, increasing import. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It's the second day of the 4-day Chhath festival, which is celebrated with much fervour, especially in the Tarai region. The festival is celebrated for 4 days. On the first day, yesterday, those observing the fast took a holy dip in water bodies and began their special worship. They also refrained from consuming several food during the festival period. It is believed that fasting during the Chhath festival will ensure good health and prosperity of the family. The ancient Hindu festival is dedicated to solar deity to express gratitude for bestowing life on earth and make wishes. Chhath festival's main day on Sunday this year is celebrated by making offerings to the setting sun, while offerings are made to the rising sun on Monday, the last day of the festival. With the beginning of the festival, devotees have thronged to marketplaces to purchase necessary items, including fruits, bamboos and earthenwares. A miner has died in Darchula district in the Sudur Pashchim province after being hit by stones that ricocheted as Indian side used explosives to expand the Tawaghat Lipulek road section on the other side of the Mahakali river. The Indian side had used explosives in Byas rural municipality, Tambaku. The deceased has been identified as Byas local Hikmat Maharaj's 9-year-old son Pawan Mahara. Hikmat Maharaj's daughter also has been injured in the same incident. Local officials have said the explosion was carried out without informing the locals along the border region. Garg and Garg Construction Company has been carrying out the road expansion project in the Tawaghat Lipulek road section in India's Pithoragarh district. The company has used explosives in Lakhimpur region along the road section. And with that, let's move on to the international update. Paul Pelosi, the husband of U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi, is recovering from surgery after being attacked at home by a hammer-wielding intruder. 82-year-old Paul Pelosi was left with a fractured skull and serious injuries to his right arm and hands. The suspect is said to have demanded to see Nancy Pelosi after breaking in to the San Francisco home. A 42-year-old man named by police as David DePapi has been arrested on charges including attempted homicide. He is also facing charges of assault with a deadly weapon, burglary and several other felonies. U.S. President Joe Biden has called the attack despicable and a political violence. Vice President Kamala Harris called it an act of extreme violence. And now we have an inspirational story of 3 generations of the same family that are taking part in an environmentally friendly initiative, sharing the same goal of protecting the Nile River, which has historically been considered the longest river in the world. The grandfather is a fisherman who helps collect plastic from the Nile. His niece makes recyclable bags, and the grandson rows the boat and compresses collected plastic. Mohammed Nasser goes fishing every day at 5 a.m. leaving the Kursaya village where he lives in the heart of Egypt's Nile River. After selling the fish he captures, the 59-year-old fisherman goes back to his boat where he collects garbage thrown in the Nile, which he calls home and the source of his livelihood. Mohammed gives the waste he collects to the headquarters of a local initiative called Very Nile, to which he sells the garbage for 14 Egyptian pounds, which is equivalent to $0.71 per kilogram, a much-needed source of additional income to feed his family of 5.
Even if I get nothing in return, I'll still clean the Nile because it's my livelihood. Any waste that I find, I collect it in the boat. I have my large bags here. I collect buckets, shoes, bags, anything. When we all do it, the space is clean with no trash.
Now Mohammed, his niece Hayam Mohammed and her son Yahya all work with the initiative to protect the environment while securing a decent living. While the grandfather cleans the Nile, the niece works at a workshop where women iron layers of discarded plastic bags that are later used in making bags and other products. Her 22-year-old son rows the boat and participates in the processing of plastic bottles. Weekends are usually Mohammad's best days in selling plastic, when those frequenting large boats and wedding halls on the Nile throw huge amounts of waste into the river. He would collect 70 kilograms of bottles daily over the weekend, as opposed to 20 kilograms daily during weekdays. Over the past 4 years, the initiative has collected nearly 180 tons of waste and employed nearly 65 fishermen like Mohammad. It's time now for the sports update. Nepal's CAN mixed women's team have suffered a 31-run defeat against ICC Under-19 women's team. It was the second successive win for the ICC team in their Nepal tour. The ICC outfit won the toss and elected to bat as they posted 170 runs for the loss of 4 wickets at the upper ground in Mulpani. Sakshi Dhadwal scored 45 runs for the visitors, while Alina Khan added 41 and Tirtha Satish scored 37. Apsari Begum picked 2 wickets for the Nepali side. In reply, the home team were restricted to 139 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in their 20 overs. Sarita Magar top scored with 29 runs, Rajamati Airi contributed 25 and Begum scored 23, while Ashmita Khanal added 21. Vaishnami Mahesh picked 2 wickets for the visitors. The ICC team had suffered a 13-run defeat in the first match against the Marylebone cricket team before securing a 10-wicket win over CAN 11. Now, the All Nepal Football Association (ENFA) has bade farewell to the Under-15 girls team as the squad is leaving to participate in the Under-15 SAF Championship. Despite inadequate preparations, coach Bhagwati Rana Magar has said the team's objective is to lift the trophy. The tournament will kick off on the 1st of November in Dhaka, Bangladesh. The national football governing body ENFA had held a nationwide selection program to prepare the team for the tournament. Following a 4-week-long closed camp, coach Rana Magar had announced a 23-member squad 4 days ago. Deepa Rokaya is shouldering the responsibility of the team captain. Despite inadequate preparations, coach Rana Magar has said that the team will play with confidence at the tournament. Nepal are competing alongside Bhutan and Bangladesh at the tournament. Top team from the double round robin basis will be crowned the champion. And that's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.